All right, we call this meeting to order. Regular board meeting of the Board of Trustees on Thursday, November 13th, 2025. You get a roll call, please.
Falls Drive here.
Mays here.
Jesus here.
Brianna Texoni here.
Mask on here. Item C, agenda for the regular board meeting, November 13th, 2025. Can I get a motion?
I'll move.
I'll second.
Dr. Hockin?
No, sir, there are no changes for tonight's board agenda. Thank you.
Discussion? Call the question.
Falls Drive, aye.
Mays, aye.
Jesus, aye.
Brianna Texoni, aye.
Mask on, aye. Dr. Hockin, is there any public participation at this time?
None online and none here in person. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, at this time, can I get a motion to adjourn to closed session where we may conference with labor negotiators, discuss public employee discussion, discipline, dismissal, or release, conference with legal counsel, or student matters.
I'll move.
I'll second.
Call the question.
Falls Drive, aye.
Mays, aye.
Jesus, aye.
Brianna Texoni, aye.
Mask on, aye. We adjourn to closed session at 6:31 p.m. All right, thank you everyone for coming. We reconvene this regular board meeting at 7:30 PM. And there was no action taken in closed session. Ms. Chamberlain, would you please lead us in the flag salute?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Mr. Faltzgraff, would you please read the civility statement?
Business. We will strive to communicate clearly and concisely with respect for the time of others, listen objectively, carefully considering the opinions of others, understand the counterproductive effects of disruptive, demeaning, and intimidating behaviors, understand and respect district policies and procedures, and maintain a respect for the rich history of the district and the efforts of others who have served in the past.
Thank you. It's like we have to say again, no action was taken in closed session tonight. Move that one up a little earlier. Item 6, public comments. Dr. Hocking, are there any public comments at this time?
Not in person, not online. Thank you, Mr. Muscom.
Thank you. Item A, spotlight.
Yes, sir. One of my favorite highlights of our board meetings are spotlight recognitions. Tonight, we are celebrating student success, as we can see here in full force. We're celebrating our reclassified students, English language learners. We're extremely proud. Thank you, parents. Thank you, students, for being here and showing up. So without further ado, I will be calling up Dr. Paula Chamberlain to go ahead and kick off the spotlight celebration. Thank you.
Good evening. Thank you, Dr. Sahakian. Good evening, board. And good evening, parents and families. Thank you for being here. We're here this evening to recognize our students who have been redesignated English learners. And I just wanted to share a little bit about some of the accomplishments. There are 4 criteria required by the State Board of Education for students to meet, and it's quite challenging. And the students that are here, and I know you have all worked really hard, and I just really want to congratulate you for all the hard work that you've done, and your teachers as well. The first criteria is the assessment of the English language proficiency. That is assessed through the summative LPAC, and students have to take it every year. They cannot opt out. And that probably is the most challenging part of the criteria to reassess. Criteria 2 is teacher evaluations, and that includes pupil mastery of curriculum and other assessments given in the classroom. There's also a parent consultation where the team meets with the parent and goes over the data that suggests that the student's ready for requalification, and the parents have to agree. So they're part of the team and are part of the consultation process. And then another really big hurdle is that the students have to be considered proficient on the Smarter Balance Assessment, which is the yearly SBAC that 11th graders take and 3rd through 8th grade students take. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and read off the names. I'm going to start with Meadowlark first. The first one is Javier Moreno. And we have Gerardo Velasquez. I want to apologize. I've been struggling with that name. Emilio Cabrera. We have a lot. We had a really high percentage of students that redesignated. We have Susie Ravello Beltran. Also from Meadowlark, we have Adrian Trejo Mendoza. Adrian, congratulations. We're so proud of you. We have Ray Medina from Meadowlark. Sergio Sebastian. And we have Sofia Ortiz Tercios. Isidro Carrillo. Valentina Rodriguez. Valentina. Congratulations, honey. You have one in English and one in Spanish. All right, and I'm presenting for Vasquez High School. Is Mr. Parks here by chance? All right, if you're here from Vasquez High School, I know I talked to Mr. Parks and he was super excited. I know he was going to try to be here. But in his absence, I'll present for him. So we have Fernando Perez, Jose Martinez Cerda, no, we'll fix it though. Thank you for understanding. Leslie Medina, Emily Torres Camarina, Evelyn Gutierrez Ontiveros. And last from Vasquez, we have Daisy Blas Esqueda. So that's for Meadowlark, and for Vasquez, we have Miss Seymour. Her name wants to escape me sometimes. Miss Seymour's here to present for our high desert students. And she is our English language development teacher. And I just want to congratulate you as well for all your hard work. I've been in your class and seen the amazing work that you do with the kids and the relationship that you have with them. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. As you can see, we have quite the stack. This is not because of just myself in the classroom. We have Miss Paula Herrera, who is a huge support in the classroom, and it really falls on the students putting in the work in their classroom with their teachers and putting in the extra time. So to say that I am proud is an understatement. So to get started, Julian Cardenas, Alexandra Gonzalez, Daniela Gonzalez Quesada, Victoria Herrera, Emily Moya Escamilla, Abraham Delgadillo, Jasmine Hernandez, congratulations, Bianca Mora, Victor Carrera, Guadalupe Estanislao Ambris, Joseph Herrera, and that is it for our students from High Desert. Which one? Oh, I gave you Maryland's. Oh, they must have stuck. Okay, I got. Hang on a second. Thank you. Okay.
If we could kindly ask our students being recognized this evening to come on up for a photo and bring up your certificates as well, so that you could proudly display those during the pictures. Thank you.
You said,
Congratulations, youth out there. This board up here, we have adult rules that we're supposed to follow. There's 25 of them. The first one is the governing board expects itself to act in the best interests of every student in the district. That's every student. This is so important to that goal. Because if you're sitting in a classroom and you don't understand what's being said and you're not learning, you won't be as employable. You will not reach your full potential. And that is what we're here to make sure happens. So at some point, when you get older, think back of when you were in school, because teachers don't get thanked. And they put out thousands of kids every year. And the most important thing you can do for a teacher is to go back and give them a moment of your time with them that was really important to you and how it affected your life and how it made it successful, because teachers do not get enough of that. You can give them a paycheck, you can give them benefits, you can give them everything, but what they really need is to know that they made a difference in your life. Okay? So you're going to do that? Some of you got to do it pretty soon because you're bigger than the little ones. Okay? Cool.
Congratulations. This is a big accomplishment for you guys, and we're all very proud of you.
Yes, absolutely. Congratulations. It's a hard task to learn another language. So you guys did it because you're awesome, and just keep going forward. And I want to thank the staff as well, because this doesn't happen. Like, we don't get above our percentages statewide because of people like you that are dedicated and want to come in and do the work. So I appreciate it. Like Ms. Seymour, Mr. Sparks, Park. Great job. This is a testament to your achievement too. So thank you all.
Congratulations, those of you that are here, and those that couldn't make it. This is a huge, huge accomplishment. I feel like you guys do extra work every day just to reach this goal. As an English speaker, as a student, I didn't have to do the things that you did. I didn't have to take extra tests. I didn't have to qualify. I also don't speak two languages, so I envy you that you guys are able to speak two languages. you're bilingual. Some of you are going to go on to speak a third language, maybe fourth. And I think that's fantastic. You guys are so much more above where I was at your age. And I think that's absolutely incredible. And these goals that you have accomplished are huge. And congratulations to the parents as well. I know that that's a lot of hard work at home going into reaching this goal and the work over the years. Huge congratulations. And thank you for being here. I always love seeing students and families in our boardroom. It gets lonely when it's when there's nobody here. But I love seeing our students. You guys are why we do what we do. So thank you for being here and congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations and thank you for coming here and allowing us to celebrate your achievement. So now we're going to move on with the rest of the board meeting. If unless you want to sit around for all the boring stuff, it's probably
This
a
is
good
like
exit
time to
point.
bail.
It's time to go. Unless you want to sit around for all the boring stuff, then we don't mind. Last chance. If you stay now, then you're stuck to
You're
the
stuck till the end.
like another hour.
There we go.
There we go. Someone's taking the hit.
Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations.
I feel like this kid is sitting
job,
like,
guys.
And there's one more.
All right, item 6, public comment, recognition reports. Again, not spotlight. There's that again. Item 7, correspondence, proposals, and reports. Subject A, ADA representative. Someone should tell Mrs. Carrie Wright that we're getting lonely without her. Okay. We want to see you, Carrie. Come in and say hi. We miss you. Same with the CSEA representative. Do we have someone from there tonight? We're going to start removing this stuff off the agenda. I haven't seen them all year.
I haven't seen Satan all year and I'm not asking him to show up at my house.
I can
Next.
assist with that, Ken. Item C, student representative to the board.
So starting with Meadowlark, November 4th, there was a PTO meeting. November 11th was Veterans Day. We honored those who served in our country throughout our district. November 18th, there is a leadership team meeting. November 20th, Little Owls, their award assembly at 9 a.m. November 21st, Meadowlark has an award assembly for first and second graders at 8:35 a.m. The week of November 24th is Thanksgiving break, so district-wide there's no school. December 2nd, there's a Meadowlark School Site Council meeting at 3:10 p.m. December 9th, there's a PTO and ELAC meeting. We're very excited that we've reclassified 8 students from Meadowlark to the English Language Learners Program. Next Tuesday, November 18th, the Vasquez High basketball team and Coach Mario Bates will be on campus talking and displaying their court skills with the 3rd and 4th graders. Little Owls and Meadowlark's PTO will be starting a Seas Candy fundraiser from November 17th to December 1st. Please help support our schools. At High Desert, October 30th was the Halloween dance, a great High Desert tradition. Thank you, High Desert ASB and Mrs. Goodstein, for a great lineup of activities for Halloween. Congrats to the cross-country team on their success at the Silver League Finals on November 4th. The girls placed first and the boys placed second. So thank you to Coach Laura and Coach Elizabeth for your hard work and dedication. Congrats to JV girls basketball team for finishing second place in league. We're very proud of your teamwork and your improvement this year. Thank you to Coach Rivas and Coach Matt for your hard work and time spent with our students. November 4th through 7th was Red Ribbon Week. It was very successful. November 10th, flag football season has started. Science Olympiad is on its way. We'll see what the rest of the year brings. Tomorrow, November 14th, there's pastries with the principal, Mrs. Van Ornum, at 8:30 a.m. in the library. Open doors for open dialogue about tools for tracking and improving student success. November 17th, next Monday at 8:30, there's a mental health parent workshop on grief, loss, and resilience. Hawk highlights. Thank you to Mrs. Benola, our amazing 5th grade teacher, for your dedication, positivity, and energy you've brought to High Desert. Some students we'd like to celebrate in our Hawk highlights are Silas Hernandez for his kindness, Jaylene Quintana for her hard work, Valeria Landa Villegas for her determination, and Julia Swanigan for her dedication. Over at Vasquez, November 5th, there was a FAFSA workshop, which went very well, very informational. Today, our Visual Performing Arts Club went to the Santa Monica Playhouse to see a performance. I believe it was Enchanted. I didn't go. Our Culinary Arts and Science National Honor Society groups assisted the Acton Women's Club with their luncheon yesterday. Regarding athletics, football made a very impressive second place in league, but unfortunately they lost first round in playoffs. Flag football went to semifinals and finished third in league. We'd like to shout out senior Liz Rose, who was selected to play in the SoCal All-Star Game at SoFi Stadium. We wish you much luck. Cross country runs in the CIF preliminary tomorrow after finishing second in league. Winter sports officially start next week. Thank you.
Superintendent's report.
Thank you, President Mascon. Tonight, I'll be focusing in on just one goal from our plan, Goal 3, community engagement. Plenty going on. Start off with the dual immersion Spanish program interest survey received a robust and enthusiastic response from our current TK parents, demonstrating strong support for the launching of the program. With 80% of our parents who responded are very interested in enrolling their child. In addition, I'd like to single out the top 3 reasons as highlighted on the screen for considering a dual immersion language program per the responses by our respondents. Of course, to develop bilingual skills was a top priority, enhance future career opportunities, and to connect with a diverse community. My team and I are diligently working on putting all the pieces together to ensure this important initiative is implemented in a timely and efficient manner. I'm confident that we will soon announce the inaugural cohort, which is planned for fall of 2026 with Little Owls Learning Center with a kindergarten section. Next item, on November 3rd, AADUSD hosted a successful community presentation featuring special guests from the AV CELPA, the AV CAC, which is known as the Community Advisory Committee, and We Care AADUSD. The event brought together our PTO, PTSO, and booster parents from all school sites for a morning of collaboration and learning of the resources and supports that all 3 groups provide our students and our parents of AADUSD. So thank you for the participation and our special guests. The next item, recently the Hoka brand of sneakers made a very generous donation of 60 pairs of running shoes to our cross-country team at an estimated value of $6,000. We extend our sincere thanks to Hoka for this incredible show of support. Our student athletes are truly grateful and excited to represent in style, of course. Thanks to your generosity. And there's a short clip of the sneakers and our student athletes in action. Alex. Awesome. Thank you. Last but not least, a fantastic time was had at the 2025 Acton Women's Club Luncheon. Huge thank you, of course, to the Acton Women's Club Board of Directors and President Ms. Harris for inviting AADUSD to the special gathering. We are always truly humbled and honored to be honored by your continued partnership and support. Thank you so much. And with that, I conclude my report for tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sahakian. Next item, Facilities and Finance Subcommittee report.
This past Monday, we had our Facilities and Finance meeting. We did go over bond measures and what that would look like if we ever decided that we needed that. And we also went over the scoreboard installation for Vasquez High School and where the best place would be for that to be put in. And then we talked about future meeting agendas. Do you have anything else?
Yeah, and just some background. So I think we started off this subcommittee with the desire to really look at what was required to kind of keep the campus basically functional and operational. After extensive tours through the campus, talking with the staff, we came up with a big list of everything that felt like it was needed, kind of like the keep the lights on list of things that would prevent us from continuing to educate. So after working through that, we got a lot of that stuff approved, but it really was just the most urgent items. There's a whole list behind that of things we're probably not going to get to just because it would be a tremendous expense to the general fund. Next, beyond that, we started looking at our vehicles. We went through and decided that at least one new bus was required just to keep us, again, operational. Most of our fleet is 30 years old, probably, or more, of buses that we have. So what we do have is one new one, and probably going to be needing to do more as well, just to keep things moving along so that we don't have to worry with breakdowns and all the expenses keeping with those vehicles running. Then after that, we went to a community survey. In the community survey, we basically asked the community what they thought of our facilities and if they could make improvements to our campuses, what the community believed would be the most important things that we could do and how the school could best benefit the community. When you put all this together, like, it's something we simply don't have the money to do all of these things. So the idea is that we need to look at outside funding sources to try to get this done. Clearly, one of the easiest things is to go for a bond. That's not super popular for Acton Agua Dulce, but it is one of the places we wanted information on to see what that would look like, what the timelines would look like. We're going to be general funds, not really an option for us. We need to keep that around for our reserve. But we do have things like developer fees. Developer fees will come at some point, but I think best case scenarios, those will land in 2 years or more before we could even consider having available capital to do anything with that. And beyond that, we move into things like loans with matching funds and that sort of thing. Now, we're going to dive into the other topics, but we did get a report on the bond measure and what that would take. But again, a long ways to go before we propose any specific action to try to generate enough money to actually get to our needs list and then think about making any significant improvements. But before we can make any improvements to the school district beyond, we'll have to get through the maintenance items first and then work through whatever we need for transportation as well. So there's a lot to do yet. Happy with what we got started, happy with what we got approved. It was a substantial investment into the district, into the community. There's only so much we can do with the money that we have. School funding, as most people know, is being reduced this year. We're losing bonds that were already guaranteed to us. So multiple things are going on that are creating downward pressure on our budget in a time we probably could use more. And the money we get for ADA does not fund our facilities. It really funds what goes on in the classroom, and that's what it's intended for. So we've got to look outside elsewhere to try to do more with what we have. Next item, Education Subcommittee Report.
We have not had a meeting since our last board meeting. Our next Ed Subcommittee meeting is on the 18th of this month at 3 p.m., either here in the district office or Zoom.
Policy and Management Subcommittee Report.
We had a meeting today. It was a great meeting. We discussed a few important topics like the websites, of course, the district website and the religious beliefs within the student realm of education. So I'll let Ken, I know Ken has some things to say, so I'll defer to Ken. Ken.
Thank you very much. We took a preliminary look at the governance standards. I referred to that during the EL portion of the meeting earlier. I would like these read into the record. These will come back to the board, and I'm going to put a set of younger eyes on it.
The governing board expects itself to act in the best interest of every student in the district within the legal confines established by law and the fiscal confines established by the budget. The board shall govern the district responsibly and uphold the highest standards of ethical conduct. In order to set the direction for the district, provide a high-quality education to each student, ensure proper accountability and oversight of the district and the superintendent, and offer community leadership on behalf of the district and public education. The board expects itself to have a unity of purpose and to keep the district focused on learning and achievement for all students, communicate a common vision, operate openly with trust and integrity, govern in a dignified and professional manner, treating everyone with civility and respect, govern within board-adopted policies and procedures, take collective responsibility for the board's performance, periodically evaluate its own effectiveness, ensure opportunities for the diverse range of views in the community to inform board deliberations in fulfilling its role. The board is responsible for involving the community, parents, guardians, students, and staff in a regularly developing or updating a common vision for the district focused on learning and achievement and all responsive to the needs of all students. Adopting and updating policies consistent with law and the district's vision and goals. Maintaining accountability for student learning by adopting curricula and monitoring student progress. Hiring and supporting the superintendent so that the vision, goals, and policies of the district can be implemented. Conducting regular and timely evaluation of the superintendent based on the vision, goals, and performance of the district, and ensuring that the superintendent holds district personnel accountable. Adopting a fiscally responsible budget based on the district's vision and goals, and regularly monitoring the fiscal health of the district. Ensuring that a safe and appropriate educational environment is provided to all students. Establishing a framework for the district's collective bargaining process and adopting responsible agreements. Providing community leadership on educational issues and advocating on behalf of students in public education at the local, state, and federal levels. In addition, each individual board member is expected to keep learning and achievement for all students as the primary focus. Value, support, and advocate for public education. Recognize and respect differences of perspective and style on the board and among staff, students, parents, guardians, and the community. Act with dignity and understand the implications of demeanor and behavior. Keep confidential matters confidential. Participate in professional development and commit the time and energy necessary to be an informed and effective leader. Understand the distinctions between board and staff roles, and refrain from performing management functions that are the responsibility of the superintendent and staff. Understand that authority rests with the board as a whole and not with individuals.
Thank you very much. That's what I have.
Thank you to the Policy and Management Subcommittee. Dr. Sahakian, any submissions at this time?
Not tonight, but we will for the new calendar year. Thank you.
Thank you. Item 8, consent agenda. Can I get a motion?
I would, I'll move it in, but then I also would like to move to, bring back, pull item C and bring it back at the next board meeting.
Can I get a second?
I would like to pull items B and C for discussion.
Anyone want to second that?
I'll second.
We need to call, vote on that? No.
So I'll move that we deal with items, the rest of the consent agenda, short of items B and C.
I'll second.
Call the question.
Aye.
Falls Graph, I.
Mesa.
Brianna Taxoni, aye.
Mask on, aye. So that motion goes through. So do we need to vote on the consent agenda now? Without it? Okay, so let's
I
go
thought we
ahead and
just
vote.
voted on D, E, and F.
We voted on the motion to pull those two items and vote on it separately. So now we're voting on the items D, E, and F only of the consent agenda. Call the question?
Falls Graph, I.
Mesa.
Brianna Taxoni, aye.
Mask on, aye.
Let's pull those individually, B and C, please.
All right, so now we can look at item B, right? Special board meeting, October 9th, 2025.
So I'll move it in.
I'll second. Discussion? Call the question?
Falls Graph, abstain.
Mesa.
Brianna Taxoni, aye.
Mask on, aye. Item C,
I would like to move to pull item C and bring it back at a later date.
I get a second? Hearing none.
Do you want discussion on why it needs to be pulled?
It didn't, it died on the vine unless you get a second.
Oh, all right.
Oh, I moved to pull it, so if we don't get a second to pull it, then we have to actually vote on it.
That's, yeah.
There was discussion back and forth between Dr. Sahakian and I because there were some errors, and the last bit of discussion was that the program that he could probably say it better, but the program that we're using, there wasn't allowing one of the items to be entered correctly. So on 11D from the minutes from last week, there's no vote on it. And the vote needs to be entered. So until that program can be updated, that vote is not in there. So we're not voting. The vote where we voted to add board policy is not there. So it needs to be pulled until it can get fixed.
Is there any way that we could, and forgive me, board, is there any way to pull, sorry, to display that item 11D for item?
When I looked at it at 5 o'clock today, it was not on there,
Let's just verify.
but
right?
yeah, what was that? So if you go to the minutes on C,
Item C.
oh, October 23rd, and view the minutes. No, you have to view the minutes from the meeting. So if you go. Go back. If you go out of there,
Which item are we talking about? I have it here.
that's the 23rd. Right there. There's no vote right there. So go to view minutes. Go over right next to the little clock thing,
Right
there. And now scroll down to 11D.
All right, rather than going through this line by line, I'll motion to bring this back to the next board meeting.
I'll second.
Call the question.
Fallsgraf, no.
Mays, aye.
Brianna Texoni, aye.
Mascon, aye. Moving on. Item 9, personnel. Get a motion?
I'll second.
Dr. Sakian.
Thank you. There are no changes to the PAR report for this evening, the 13th.
Discussion? Call the question.
I do have discussion. On the report on 2 different places, it says site secretary. Is that the same as the school secretary on EdJoin?
So the answer was, Mrs. Urjic, yes. So it's site secretary is equivalent to the school secretary, is my understanding. Thank you for confirming.
Is there a way to get that amended to where it has the correct listing, or is it okay to have site secretary in place of school secretary? And then there's 3 positions that are on EdJoin that aren't on here. Will those just be on the next one? Was it? Yes, those were just. Awesome. Then I will have questions on those later. I do also want to comment on one of the resignations. Miss Shiloh Villasenor is quite possibly one of the most fantastic people I have ever worked with, both in volunteer positions and in professional positions. And I just felt like it needed to be said that we are losing such a spectacular member of our team. She's personally, there's not very many people that I can say, I have never, ever, ever heard Shiloh say a bad word about anybody. She does not, she's just a positive character. She's a fantastic human being. And I just wish her all the best of luck. And I'm very, very excited for her to be moving on. But man, what a loss to our district, because she is just fantastic. And I just wanted to make sure that we said that out loud.
Thank you. Any further discussion on the PAR?
Yes, I have some. Staff, since we're grilling you tonight, was the PAR report provided in the board packet on Thursday evening, Friday morning for review?
I believe it was, yes.
Okay, were there changes to it before 9 o'clock on Monday morning when we're supposed to make our comments?
I don't believe so.
Yes, there was.
So I think that if we have comments and clerical errors and grammar and punctuation to correct, that the time to do that is to have a discussion with the superintendent staff and not exhibit that in open session. So did anyone contact you and say, I have a problem with this before 9 o'clock on Monday? Don't answer me. So yeah, I'm not interested in spelling lessons on my time on Thursday evening. So thank you. Let's bunch it up.
Since we're re-looping, I did send emails, and we have been going back and forth through emails since Friday. So that was done. I'm not a perfect person, so I catch things throughout the week because I do my homework and look at the agenda and the items throughout the week. I don't rush through it on Friday afternoon to get everything done. So while I'm looking at it throughout the week, I have noticed some things and questioned it. So it was done.
Yeah, I'm not here to monitor anyone. I'm just saying, bunch it up. I don't appreciate this at all, wherever it's coming from. Let's get our review done. Let's get our time done. And we should fill the room to air out our dirty laundry. I'm a terrible speller. I want my opportunity to spell terribly in front of the world. Thank you.
Call the question.
Mazak.
Jesus, I.
Brianna Texoni, aye.
Mascon, aye. Subject B, approval memorandum of understanding between California School Employee Association, chapter number 473, and the Acton Agua Dulce Unified School District new unit position bus aid.
Thank you, Mr. Mascon. For items 9B as in boy through F as in Frank, I'll defer to Mrs. Erdrich. She's our lead negotiator.
I think we need to move that one in, right?
I think so.
Yeah,
Sorry
I'll
about that.
move.
I'll second.
Doc Hawking.
All right, I'll repeat myself. I'll defer to Mrs. Erdrich. She's our lead negotiator as well as the HR director, as we know, for items 9B through F for the MOU, so she could elaborate and clarify and take any questions if needed.
Good evening, thank you. So for the bus aid MOU, that is a new job description that was developed with CSEA and the negotiators. And that is for someone who'd be responsible in taking care of supervising and the safety of children with special needs.
Discussion. Call the question.
Balls drop by.
Mazak.
Jesus, I.
Brianna Texoni, aye.
Mascon, aye. Subject C, approval memorandum of understanding between California School Employees Association, chapter number 473, and the Acton Agua Dulce Unified School District contracting license vocational nurse, LVN. Get a motion?
I'll move.
I'll second.
Ms. Cedric?
So this is an agreement with CSEA because we had advertised for an LVN. There were no applicants. So we did contract with someone from outside temporarily until we can fill that position. So this is an MOU with CSEA allowing us to contract while we continue to advertise and look for someone that we can hire directly.
Discussion? Call the question.
Balls drop by.
Mazak.
Jesus, I.
Brianna Texoni, aye.
Mascon, aye. Wanted to make me read tonight. Subject D, approval memorandum of understanding MOU between California School Employees Association, chapter number 473, and the Acton Agua Dulce Unified School District out of classified differential. Get a motion?
I'll move.
So this is a MOU with CSEA because before we were able to contract an LVN, there were some classified employees that were supporting some of the needs of the children, whether it be providing monitoring glucose levels or providing some medication. So that was working out of class. So this is to compensate the employees that were providing that service until we were able to get an LVN from outside.
Discussion? Call the question.
Balls drop by.
Mazak.
Jesus, I.
Brianna Texoni, aye.
Mascon, aye. Subject E, approval memorandum of understanding between California School Employees Association, chapter number 473, and the Acton Agua Dulce Unified School District contracting out charter bus services. Get a motion?
I'll move.
I'll second.
Cedric?
Typically for grad night, this is something that is being negotiated and being put into the contract, so we don't have to have an MOU, but they wanted to have one in place ahead of time while we continue to negotiate for this school year.
Discussion. Call the question.
Falls Graph, aye.
Mays, aye.
Brianna Texoni, aye.
Mask on, aye. Subject F, approval memorandum of understanding between California School Employees Association, chapter number 473, and the Acton Agua Dulce Unified School District Mechanic Services.
I'll move.
Ms. Hedrick?
So this is an MOU that has been in place now for a while, and we have to keep renewing it because we have one mechanic, but they can't do everything. So for example, mechanical work that can't be completed is like specifically major electrical work. So then we have to go to someone outside. So this is so that we have it in place so that we can do this.
Discussion. Call the question.
Falls Graph, aye.
Mays, aye.
Brianna Texoni, aye.
Mask on, aye. All right. Item 10, business services. Subject A, letter from Los Angeles County of Education, LACO, notice of sufficiency of instructional material for Meadowlark Elementary School. Dr. Sakian?
Thank you. So on September 25th, the instructional materials review team from LA County Office of Education made an unannounced visit to Meadowlark Elementary. The team determined a sufficiency of instructional materials in each specified classes during their visit and their review. So thank you to the instructional review team of LACO, and job well done, Meadowlark. Thank you.
Discussion? Yeah, well done, team. Surprise visits and inspections aren't always fun, but glad to see we passed with flying colors. All right. Item 11, board policies, administrative regulation, new board policy 5131.8, mobile communication devices, second read and adoption. It is staff's, Dr. Sakian, get a motion?
Second.
Dr. Sakian?
Thank you. So through the Policy Management Subcommittee, we were able to review this new policy while providing our own addendum in differentiating the policy between two sites, Vasquez and High Desert respectively. For Vasquez students, they may use their cell phones on campus during non-instructional time. Devices shall be turned off during instructional time. However, a student shall not be prohibited from using their device in case of an emergency to contact family members or emergency contacts. For High Desert specifically, students will have prohibited use of their devices while at school at all times.
It is the recommendation of the Policy and Management Subcommittee that we adopt this new board policy.
Yes.
Any other discussion? Call the question.
Hold on. If there's a 504 IEP that says that the child can have that phone for that, is that in place?
Yes, that
Okay.
accommodation will be made. Great question.
Further discussion? Call the question.
Falls Graph, aye.
Mays, aye.
Jesus, aye.
Brianna Texoni, aye.
Mask on, aye. Subject B, update regulation 6159.4, behavioral interventions for special education students, first read. Dr. Sakian?
Thank you. Again, reviewed at Policy and Management Subcommittee, so thank you for the time to our board liaisons as well. The main updates include a functional behavioral assessment section. Any FBA to be conducted for a student with disability shall focus on identifying the function or purpose of the student's behavior. Another component for added language are behavioral intervention plans and services, BIP for short. When any behavioral intervention, support, or other strategy is used by the district, the superintendent or designee shall consider a student's physical freedom and social interaction, administer the intervention, support, or other strategy in a manner that respects the student's dignity and personal privacy. In addition, emergency interventions is added language. Emergency interventions may be used only to control unpredictable, spontaneous behaviors that pose clear and present danger of serious physical harm to students or others. Also, it does outline prohibited interventions, including use of corporal punishment. District prohibits all of the following: any interventions designed or likely to cause physical pain, and others that are listed within the added language of this policy.
Discussion?
Is there a provision for reporting interventions to the parent?
There is no provisions, no.
Any other discussion? Moving on, subject C, update bylaw 9011, disclosure of confidential privileged information. First read. Dr. Sakin?
Thank you. So updated language here, a board member shall not disclose confidential information to any person except as authorized by law. Confidential information includes, but is not limited to, any of the following: information acquired by being present in a closed session that is specifically related to the basis for the board to meet lawfully in closed session, information acquired in anticipation of a closed session or as follow-up to a closed session, information contained in communications provided to board members from the district attorney, and information deemed confidential by the board. Confidential information does not include information that is already publicly disclosed.
Discussion?
Is there any provision within this update that provides guidance on pop-up topics being introduced in closed session? In other words, stuff that's not on the superintendent's agenda.
No.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? Item D, update board policy and administrative regulations 6145.2, athletic competition. First read.
Thank you. Updates include non-discrimination equivalent opportunities in the athletic program. District's athletic program shall be free from discrimination and discriminatory practices prohibited by state and federal law, including but not limited to the use of any racially derogatory or discriminatory school or athletic team name, mascot, or nickname. In addition, any complaint alleging discrimination in the district's athletic program shall be filed in accordance with the appropriate complaint procedures. There's also CIF language updates. There's student eligibility updates. Next, there's sportsmanship language that's been added. Board values the quality and integrity of the athletic program and the character development of student athletes. Student athletes, coaches, parents, spectators, and others are expected to demonstrate good sportsmanship and ethical conduct and fair play during all athletic competition. There's also an elaborated section on health and safety. The board desires to give student health and safety the highest consideration in planning and conducting athletic activities. The superintendent or designee shall develop a written emergency action plan that describes the location of emergency medical equipment that is being worked on with our district nurse. In addition, the administrative regulation that is attached to the board agenda for this item outlines the types of injuries such as head injuries, heat illness, and other injuries that student athletes may endure.
Discussion?
Be it known that I abstained from discussion of this item at the Policy and Management Subcommittee level.
Any further discussion? Item E, update board policy and administrative regulations 6142.8, comprehensive health education. First read. Dr. Sakin?
Thank you. Updates include goals for the district health education program shall be designed to promote student wellness and shall include, but not limited to, goals for nutrition promotion, education, physical activity, and other district-based activities that promote student well-being. It also outlines parent guardian notification and opt-out. Parents, guardians shall be notified that they may request in writing to opt their students out of participating in instruction and assessments, including anonymous and confidential tests, questionnaires, surveys, as specified in the accompanying AR administrative regulation. Students so excused shall be given an alternative education setting and for an activity. In addition, the administrative regulations outlines the content of instruction for health education, along with the parent guardian notification and opt-out procedures. The AR nicely outlines the topics students may opt out of.
Discussion? Dr. Sahakian, are we planning any changes to our current curriculum at this time?
Not at this time for health education.
If a parent wanted to see what the current curriculum looked like, where would they find that?
They could actually request it through our Director of Education Services, and she'll go ahead and provide the course syllabus outline and the curriculum and any supplemental curriculum that goes along with that.
If we elected to change any curriculum, what would that process look like? Would there be a first read? Would it be available before adoption?
Yes, so schools will vet several curriculum for preview. Some of our teachers will go ahead and facilitate some of the lessons in their classrooms to get a feel for some of the instruction and lessons within the potential curriculum. That is also here for preview for our community members to take a look at if they so choose. And then it comes back to the board as far as an action item to adopt, to move forward with a new curriculum adoption.
But again, no curriculum changes anticipated at this time.
Not at this time, no.
Thank you. Any further discussion?
I'd like to call to everyone's attention that our IT rep has put the entire policy up on the screen for entry into the meeting. He continues to scroll up and down. So the entire policy has been displayed during the open session. Thank you.
Thank you. Item 12, board comments. Mr. Faltzgraf.
Thank you. First off, I'd like to thank the Acton Women's Club. You are always there. I remember the yard sales. Now we have a boutique shop. It has morphed in from just scholarships to funding projects that individual students bring forward or groups. Acton Women's Club, you're the best. Agua Dulce Women's Club, you are equally the best. When it's your time, I will say the same. I went to the Acton Town Council meeting on Monday night. I think the one thing that they're discussing amongst other things that would board members should keep their eyes open is pop-up businesses in proximity to district property, associated activities in the public right of way, and any impedance upon access to pathways that students use to go from the school to crossing guard protected areas. We talked a little bit about the CAC SELPA introduction to district staff and parent groups. I think that I've explained this before, but I'll try it again. Typically what happens is facilities and special education needs are typically characterized as encroachments on the general fund, meaning if we didn't have those things, then we would have more money to do other things. So I'll try to make sure that the birth rate is adjusted so everyone is born perfectly, and I'll make sure that we have facilities that are that they never wear down, they never need any help, they never need paint, they never need anything like that, and all of our problems will be solved, right? I think it's time that we figure out that the SELPA takes in all of the special education funding from every state and federal source and disperses it out to the school districts that make up the special education local plan area. The AV SELPA consists of 10 districts, this being one of them. There's a certain amount of money that comes into that. Now, typically the role of the SELPA is when the district gets itself in trouble and can't use the how to get out of due process guide book that the lawyers wrote, then you go to the SELPA director and you say, hey, this parent is tearing us up. Can you help us negate this complaint? You have a new SELPA director, and that SELPA director has been in this board meeting, invited by our CAC rep, who's the Community Advisory Committee, whenever you have federal and state funds coming in, there's a representative that says, hey, we're kind of going over your budget. We're looking at things. So rather than sit in a meeting room and just fester angry parents who are upset that they didn't get what they wanted for their kid, you're seeing a change in the CAC where they have trainings, and the SELPA is more directed at being support to districts and practical trainings like these behavioral support things and all that. But you have a SELPA director who has brought their program specialists, their psychologists and stuff into this room. And during the same presentation, you had the We Care people. So the message I was trying to send everybody, inviting all these people in, is in the face of federal funding cuts that were promised to us, rather than wait to see who's going to complain and then address them with the limited funding you have, make use of your CAC rep. If you are a site leader and you don't know who the CAC rep is, and you do not have it on your site that special education concerns or requests for resources or learning or supports or what's even on their thing, on their next meeting agenda, if you don't know who that is, you're winging the door open to angry parents and complaints. And I would rather put the money, if it's not characterized as an encroachment on the general fund, in the money into getting parents to understand how to participate in an IEP meeting, how to feel safe in there, how not to feel like you're overdressed and undereducated. And when you're sitting there with a kid that's very low functioning and someone asks you a gratuitous question like, tell us about your child's strengths, while the guy up on the virtual internet is checking his email and completing his Amazon order. Those people are here to help. If you're not giving these people attention at the SELPA office and waiting for them to write and defend you in a complaint, then you are completely dropping the ball. I want to talk about the Finance and Facilities Committee, subcommittee. In my going into 10 years of service, I wanted these committees really early, and it seemed like it was turning into, well, 2 members of the board are going to run the board and all that. We heard our updates. The board is everybody. And I think the subcommittees have taken what's historically been a problem of, if I know everybody else is up here is going to vote yes, or 3 of them, I can use my no vote to showboat and maintain popularity and stuff and those games. So the subcommittees promote responsibility to the role of the individual board member. So if you can't participate in there, then you have to start questioning your effectiveness as a board member. So I'm going to give the Finance and Facilities Subcommittee a performance evaluation right now, the kind that only Ken can give. There's no Hallmark cards in here tonight, people. For the first time, somebody got off their chair and went out and looked at every inch of district property. The Williams lawsuit provided that you cannot, in bigger cities, make sure that the popular kids and the smart kids have the best facilities while everybody languishes in squalor. And so the work of the Facilities and Finance Committee, I think they even looked at the closets where the servers and everything were. I mean, they opened every door and confirmed to me, and I don't have to worry about it. I'll stop on my service there and what it was characterized by. But I didn't have to worry about Facilities and Finance. So they took a staff. There's been plenty of staff development. We used to, when I started, we had a facilities director. I don't even know that they were here half the time. Then we brought in a consultant to kind of look at the same kind of things the Facilities and Finance Subcommittee would have looked for, got some people some training, and we have advanced people on a career path internally with employees that have been here for a really long time. That makes me happy. Last year was the first time that I have ever seen someone say, we are going to do these projects. They are known projects. They are on a list. They're going to happen here, here, and here. This is what they cost. And all of those projects were completed. And many of them were completed with staff that we already have. And they were completed successfully. Some of them could have presented DSA challenges. We didn't hide anything. We talked about it in here. But now we're at a point where it's time to put the project list on the table for this year. And I'm expecting that to happen. But unfortunately, we've got funding cuts coming in from places that were guaranteed. So I'm going to say this another time, like it or not. Turn your TV up out there. When I ran for this board, I said I wanted to decrease dependence on out-of-boundary charters as a revenue source for this district. Number two, I wanted focus on local students. And number three, I wanted our good name to be restored in the greater educational marketplace so we could capture those students that we serve that want to come here. Back then, everybody was suing this district. Nobody wanted anything to do with us. None of the other districts would associate with us because it took their name down. So now all of a sudden we have partners, we have the unions coming in, organized labor wants to help us. ROTC has come in. We have all these partners. Well, guess what? The news is that our ROTC partner has got the program approved, but the funding's been cut. The funding that we were supposed to get, I was never so proud of our new superintendent. There was $4.2 million of charter revenue coming in every year. And suddenly that was replaced with grants and other things and cost savings. So my first goal was taken care of. The quality of the education. Kids have to be safe to go to school here. They will not learn. So all of our, you can call them social programs, you could call them whatever you want. They're focused on making sure that all the kids feel safe. You cannot learn if you're not safe. And the third one about not being trashed and looked as the rogue district being investigated by the state auditor. All that came true. I did nothing. The whole staff has done this over a period of 9 years. And now I got a subcommittee. I don't have to worry about it. But the problem is these funds are getting cut. They were promised to us. People built a system. I'm trying to get everybody to wake up. Your CAC rep, your SELPA people are in here to help you. Wake up. They start at Little Owls. Make sure those kids feel safe. Make sure that the parents, it's not just some box you check and put something on the district website at the last second so you can say, oh yeah, we had that meeting. The parents over there that are bringing kids in at 3 years old need to feel supported because when they transfer out of the regional center, they're over there with the therapists all the time. They're getting this one-on-one. Then you get in here and it's like, oh, don't worry, we'll take care of it. No wonder there's festering complaints all the time. We have some serious financial challenges, most of them based on broken promises. This is the history of educational funding. So of course, people are going to develop all these scams that I got to come through and vote to have $735,000 paid back out of our kids' money because somebody else skated with $80 million. Now we're at a spot where we've got such good momentum. And if you say bond in this town, you're dead in the water. So the finance and subcommittee took on a discussion, the first one. It's not a commitment. I support their look at what they're talking about. Because then the next one is developer fees. When are those fees going to come? They're still doing grading up there. I don't know what that economy is going to do. Bill is in construction. He could probably tell me what is going to happen and when. When the scraper operators are sitting in local 12 hall, the economy is going to shut down. Bill knows that kind of stuff. Lester has expertise in using block grants and city and redevelopment fees where people are looking at, we're going to have to put $2 million or $10 million in here. And we need to make sure that this is a destination, it's safe, it is clean, and that's his world. Between those two, they operate on a much higher level, even regionally or nationally, and they understand those finances, and they're an asset to you. Never feel threatened by these two. They're getting paid nothing to do this. But those developer fees, I don't know when they're coming. Then I would hope that the subcommittee, and I'm not giving you direction, even though this was my idea for years, the partnership opportunities that we have a campus. I'm going to say it. Nobody else has to agree with me. We have a campus that has buildings that should be bulldozed tomorrow. Over here, I look, the backs of the buildings are painted. We've got a staff that worries about how it looks behind the frontage. But we've got a facility out there that is not being maintained. It looks terrible. To put any money into it is terrible. Why would anybody that moves into a brand new house up there want to go to that place? Is there a possibility that these trade people, see, what we do is we hand out diplomas here. You go away here. We'll give you a certificate. If you're the empty chair last year, here you go. Wipe your tears, hit the road to nothing. How many jobs are out there right now for kids who aren't going to school? How many kids are going to school? They keep going to school because there's no job. So they keep running up their student loan until they're 30 some years old. We really need to give this community a reason so somebody that's 20 years old can go to the technical center and learn a trade. And have somebody, well, how do you learn how to remove asbestos? Well, I got a certificate because I was involved in the Acton Agua Dulce rebuild of site or school, whatever you want to call it, X, and I got my certification in asbestos remediation. I learned how to weld. I learned how to run a backhoe or a small crane over there. I learned how to drill a well. You know that there's an oil drillers union in longshoreman union. Why do you want to be in the hall? Well, because I worked on redrilling the well over there. I know what I'm doing. There's a ton of opportunities out there, and we need to take advantage of them. So we had the bond discussion. The next one should be developer fees. When, how much? And realistically, you don't dangle it out there like a carrot. What are the partnership opportunities? And finally, here's the most important one. If we do absolutely nothing with the budget, what is the cost escalation from year to year? So that means if our budget is 10 million, 12 million, whatever it is, say 10, just for ease of it. How much do the salaries go up? How much does the STRS, how much does the medical contribution go up? And if you do nothing, what does the next 3 or 4 years look like? And what is the dollar amount? Because there's no more coming in. So when you hear these guys talking about these solutions, I like it that they're talking about it. It beats better than glad handing everyone and being popular at the football game. We have such good momentum and it's being threatened. Guys, your work this past year has been nothing but incredible. Thank you. Thank you for your patience. That's all I have this evening.
Thank you, Ken. All right. I've only got a couple things. One, again, our football team, flag football team, cheerleaders, all of our sports teams did great this past season. Congratulations. I was part of the FAFSA thing over at Vasquez with the counselors, the workshops, and they did a great job. I was able to go online and do my portion of it. If I didn't have that, I probably wouldn't have been able to. So thank you, counselors, for doing that. And lastly, Mr. Mascone, happy birthday. Yes, it is.
I'll keep mine very brief. Congratulations to all the students who are recognized today. And since we passed Veterans Day, I want to thank all the veterans out there for their service. And that's it.
I wasn't gonna have a report, but when you people keep your birthdays a secret, happy birthday. That is all.
Yeah, I actually get the pleasure of having the Marine Corps' birthday, Veterans Day, and my birthday right afterwards. So it's like 3 days of perfection. I know, yeah, it's a good time. Free meal at Applebee's. That used to be the game when we were young, right? We'd go to every place that offered free meals when you're a veteran. That was good. But yeah, thank you to all the veterans out there, and thank you for everyone who served or is planning to. It's an amazing thing to do, and you'll get more value from it than you could ever imagine. Other than that, again, always proud to be part of this wonderful organization. And I think this is actually my last closing of a meeting as board president. So I'll be moving down the aisle here soon to the end. I know. You don't have to sit next to Ken anymore. I know it's been tough. But thank you, everyone. With that, I would like to propose that we, calendar. Yeah, that was going too fast. Calendar. Next board meeting is December 11th. Anybody have a conflict there? No. Future agenda items. We still have the Acellus Virtual Academy CT Pathways presentation coming.
Yes, sir. We're looking to actually combine Acellus Virtual Academy along with the robust CT pathways presentation from our counselors.
Thank you very much. With that, I would like to move to adjourn. Can I get a motion?
I'll second.
Call the question.
Paul Graf, aye.
Mays, aye.
Jesus, I.
Brianna Texoni, aye.
Mask on, aye. With that, we adjourn at 8:52 p.m. Thank you.